Good evening. It is Tuesday. It is just gone 9 o'clock, which sounds fun to say. This is episode 1 of the Total Steam Deck podcast. This has been a little while coming. It's been a little bit, what are we saying? We're a bit anxious because we've not done it before. It's something modern that we've not touched on before as well. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, we'll have a good time. Hopefully, everyone will enjoy. And we can start getting it to get a bit of traction. We've certainly got some potential giveaways to give to people. All you need for those is a Steam account. You don't necessarily need a Steam Deck. And yeah, let's get the show on the road.
Yeah,
so
jump right on in.
So this evening, it is the Triforce that we now are. We have got runners.
Hello, everyone. Really excited to start a new show. We've been planning this for ages. Got everything ready a while ago. I was just trying to find a good time to get it started. And Colin Brown, you have leveled up. I have given you a free membership to the channel. So enjoy.
Shabazz, Colin, enjoy. And of course, Triangle Face, Tim.
Good evening. How are you doing?
Very good. It's almost like it's been just about 24 hours since we last hung out.
I know. Long time no see.
Beautiful, beautiful. We've got a few people in the chat, which is lovely to see on a new show. We've got Colin Brown. Good evening, Colin. Thank you for joining us. We've got Nick C. Thank you for joining us along live, Nick. Much appreciated. Long-time supporter. We have, of course, got the man, the myth, the legend, Dave Newland Music. Good evening, David. I hope you are well. Intro, again, sponsored by Dave Newland Music.
Yeah.
Thank you kindly, sir. And Timothy Earnshaw, good evening, my friend. It is very good to see you too. Everybody is very welcome, as you always are. And at risk of breaking a tradition, like we generally do with all new shows, because there's lots of things that we can play on a Steam Deck. This is going to be specifically Steam Deck related, and that is, what are you currently playing on your Steam Deck? So, Blunners, what are you currently playing?
Yeah, so I'm playing, it's a bit of a random one, really. I haven't played it in ages, but it plays so well, and that is Celeste. I'm playing Celeste at the minute. Yeah, picked
nice.
up in a sale, dirt cheap. Like you say, and just absolutely flying through it. Getting annoyed when I can't get them certain strawberries, but as a platformer, it is phenomenal. Also, I'm playing DuckTales remaster. As well. Yeah, another random one I picked up for Peanuts as well. I think it's
what a game.
Sales. Yeah, just it just takes me back I remember playing it on the NES, but I never remember being any good at it because I was like quite young and just got my ass kicked on it so much. I just didn't have a clue what I was doing. But yeah, the when I saw it for like £3 or £4, I was like, gotta get it. So yeah, picked that up straight away, and yeah, that's all. Yeah, that's all I've been playing really at the minute on it. So yeah, Celeste and DuckTales.
Celeste, great what a title! Celeste is stunning.
Yeah, that was great.
And Tim, what have you been playing?
What have I been playing? So I have been playing a few games from like the free games you can get on Steam Deck. For those of you in the Total Video Games Facebook group, I have been posting when some like new free games have become available. There's a bit of a mixed bag. Some of them are sort of early access or demos. Some of them are just flash games are free for a short period and grab them totally free while you can. And other ones are, like I say, just demos and things like that, or quite short games. So there's a few little short games you can get from different studios. So I've been playing a few of those, which I'll come on to later in the show and talk a bit more detail about. But on the Steam Deck, you can access your Steam games, obviously, but it's also a good emulator. If you have an emulator, you can play your ROMs on there.
Absolutely.
And you can also play Xbox Game Pass on there because you can actually go to the website and sign in and access your Game Pass games. And it's actually very good. So at the moment on my Steam Deck, I've mostly been playing Expedition 33 because I am all about that game at the moment. It's absolutely brilliant. I've already talked about how great that is, but I don't mind gushing about it some more because it is really, really good.
Gush away.
So it's just really convenient to be able to pick up and play it on the Steam Deck because I can then, at home, I've got three locations where I can play that game. I've got my Xbox that's set up on my lounge. I've got another Xbox that's in my bedroom, and then I've got my Steam Deck. So I've kind of been, because it's all cloud-based saves, I can just pick up the game wherever I am. So if I'm away at work, I can take the Steam Deck with me and then carry on, because I cannot put that game down. I need to keep chipping away at that game. It's brilliant. And also, I have been playing a little bit of on the emulator. I like to dip into old games now and then. I've been playing Micro Machines on the Mega Drive.
Oh wow!
Because that is a fun one to revisit. And I tell you what, though, I'm not surprised. I never completed that game as a kid. I think maybe we managed to get to the end once, but obviously on the emulator you can use save states and can get quite far through it easily, and then you get to a certain point where it's really hard because you're just going so fast. I'm on a level with the sports cars on the table and you're just zooming off the edge, and it's really, really tough. Yes, main game is Expedition 33. If you haven't already and you've got a Steam Deck, do set up a link. If you've got Game Pass, you can actually add the shortcut to the Game Pass web page into your Steam Deck library, and there are guides online how to do that. You can even set up the icon to be the Game Pass icon, and it just shows up in your list of games, and then you've got your whole Game Pass library as well, which is brilliant. So Expedition 33, which you need to buy, Ollie.
I do. It's going to happen.
I want to talk to you about this game and the gut punches you get at the beginning. There's some emotional gut punches that I want your thoughts on.
Man. So, well, I saw it for £40 in Smith's recently, and I thought that's a good deal for a physical copy. So that's what's going to happen with me. I myself have played through a few games on my Steam Deck recently, games that I had been itching to play ever since probably WASD last year that you and I went to, Tim. And so I have done a big smattering of Angerfoot, which I am still enjoying the hell out of. And the Hobby Lodge, good evening. Interesting to see that you have just become a Steam Deck owner. Very welcome. I'd be very interested to hear your opinions on this too, because you are a retro gamer as well. So I'd be interested to know what you make of the deck. So yes, Angerfoot, tremendous game. It is, I guess the easiest way to describe it is a first person. It's almost a boom shooter because it's really quick. It's really fast paced. You don't need to use a gun if you don't want to. You can just kick the shit out of everything with your foot, and you can get different trainers to wear, different things to wear. You can run in barefoot and kick the shit out of everything if you want to. But the game benefits from multiple playthroughs, so you can almost play through the level once, get a feel for where the enemies are, learn the patterns of things, and then you can start doing things like speed runs. And it does warrant multiple playthroughs, because in order to get that 3-star rating, you'll need to do things like complete the level without getting hit. You'll need to do things like complete the game only kicking people with a red trainer, complete the game only doing headshots. It's absolutely bananas, but it's such a great game because you can just play it for 20 minutes and you've got a fix. You can put it down, you can play it for 2 hours and still get the same fix. So
I feel like the style and the sense of humor of it reminds me a bit of Time Splitters, because that always had a bit of a weird sense of humor. Like, it's a really fun game, but then you have puppets and hands and things like that, and monkeys.
Yep, 100%. Welcome, Toxo. It's good to see you, my friend. And some of the other games that I've been playing, one of the games might be a game that we talk about later on in a giveaway, and so hopefully people will be able to see this. So I'm not going to say that one, but I might talk about it a little bit more when we come to potentially give that code away. A game that I have literally, and I mean literally, downloaded just to my Steam Deck now, because I remembered looking through the library last night, seeing what was on sale. This is a game that I have picked up on PS4. I have yet to play it yet, but I know it's had some absolutely incredible reviews. It is a proper boom shooter in the sort of Doom graphics style. But on the Steam library, it was £1. I'm not going to pass that up. It had 90% off, and that is Project Warlock. I don't know if we can see it's probably a bit too bright there. Either way, Project Warlock. It's meant to be a hard as balls boom shooter. So I can't wait. Literally can't wait. So to be able to play that handheld in glorious graphics means I can keep my PlayStation 1 sealed for a little bit. I can get good at it on the Steam Deck. Then I can get the platinum trophy on the PlayStation afterwards. And of course, I've been playing emulation, which I think we may get to talk about a bit later on as to why I got a Steam Deck in the first place. I think we could almost benefit from doing a whole session on emulation, the various emulators that we use, how we go about setting that up, because I know certainly for myself, I don't PC game. So the idea of setting up an emulator was quite daunting for me. I'm not ashamed to admit that. I much prefer the console element where you can just kind of put the disc in, turn it on, go, it's done. So to set up some software on my Steam Deck was mildly intimidating, but incredibly user-friendly. I know I sat here with Tim. Tim also gave me a hand because I was starting to pull my hair out a little bit. But yeah, so I feel like that would be a good topic to do on a future episode. So let us know either in the chat or in the comment section afterwards if you think it would be beneficial to show the various emulators and how you go about putting those onto your Steam Deck. So if anybody has any questions or things that they would like us to discuss or anything they'd like us to see if we can answer, obviously we're not necessarily experts, but we certainly are enthusiastic. So give us throw some questions in the chat and we will we'll give them a star and we will get to those as we come through. So before we move on, I'm going to mention there's a few people watching, so I think we will probably be good to go. As we said, we have got some Steam codes to give away. We have curated 3 games, so a game each that we want to give away. I think we've all loaded up a trailer, which we can show you, and we will then talk about the game. And we need to think of a word that everybody can write in the chat for being entered into a draw. We're going to use the Wheel of Doom.
The Wheel of Doom.
And what we will do is everyone that enters will go onto the Wheel of Doom. You'll be spun round. If your name comes up, we'll let you pick the first game that you want out of the 3 that we've got. And then we have a random game to give away at the end because there was a miscommunication between us all when we were buying the games, and so we've got a weird game. No idea if it's any good, so it's just going to be given away to someone at the end.
Actually,
it's not about recommendation
for us.
Random game.
Yeah, they can come on.
They can review it for us and let us know. Yeah.
So
Nick's just put Steam. Do we just want to
reckon the word should be?
Steam in the comments
or deck?
Well, Nick's just put Steam in the comments. So
okay, I'll tell you what.
Steam. Okay,
I'll tell you what. In honor of The Simpsons, because I like The Simpsons, let's go with the word steamed hams.
Even though they're obviously grilled.
Yes, exactly that. Steamed hams. If you put into the chat, please, the word steamed hams, we will put you onto the Wheel of Doom, and later in the show, we will spin that Wheel of Doom and start giving away some games. So,
while we're collecting that, should we show our games?
We shall. That sounds like you're ready to go, Tim. Would you like to go first?
Right, okay then. I shall. Yeah, you have to do that, Blanners? You start typing when I do this. Okay, right. You concentrate on that, Blanners. I will share my screen. So this is my pick, and this is one of my favourite games. Allow. Come on. Now, this is the HD remake or re-release, we can call it, of the original 1999 game, Heroes of Might and Magic 3, the HD edition. There's lots of sort of games of this ilk you may have played. It's like a tactical sort of town building, map exploration and battles game. It just does it very, very well. It's one of those games where, there's other Heroes games, but for some reason, the third one, Heroes of Might and Magic 3, just gets so much spot on. It's such an enjoyable game, and you'll be there for hours and hours. You can do multiplayer. There's absolutely tons of different scenarios and campaigns you can play. and it's just really well balanced. I think that's one thing that makes people come back to this game is the different armies you can pick are really well balanced. There's like loads of different things to do in it. There are 48 scenario maps. And you can actually make your own, I think, as well, which I never even got to. Absolute joy of a game. You choose your town. You can have like humans. You can have elves, like goblins, like underground creatures, things like that. I'm just going to take it back again. It's all got autoplay. Is there another? There we go. And what else is there? There's like lizard men. And there's like wizards and magicians and things like that. So depending on what race you choose and you have for your town, you build up different settlements in your town that allow you to recruit different creatures. There's like an undead one as well. You can have like zombies and skeletons and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then when you go into a battle, how many you have of that creature is just represented by a number. So you'll have like a skeleton with like 50 underneath it. That means you've got 50 skeletons. So that represents 50 skeletons on the battlefield. Here's like one of the towns. You can recruit all the different types of creatures. So you're upgrading your town each turn. You're gathering resources. You're getting artifacts and just getting more powerful and building up your army with normally the aim of just taking out all the other settlements and like having complete domination of the landscape. But there's some other win conditions as you go through the game. And yeah, that is Here is a Might and Magic 3. You may have already heard of it, but if you haven't, this might be a chance to check it out.
Excellent. So yeah,
that is my pick.
Cute Tiger is in agreement with you, Tim. It is an epic series.
So on, I need some more steamed hams, guys. Come on, get some more steamed hams. I've only got 8 on it, I think.
So for anyone that has just joined, if you get into the chat the word steamed hams, we will enter you into a draw, which we will do live, and you will win one of these 3 games. So there'll be 3 games up for grabs, and then a random giveaway at the end of a game that we have no idea if it's any good, just because there was a confusion in the title. So get in the chat, steamed hams. It's a free game. Who doesn't want free things? I'll tell you what.
Do you want to show your game next, Ollie?
Yeah, let's give it a go. Let's see if I can
get
it.
When we reveal winners, you can pick the game that you want out of our pitches until they're all gone. So we're going to do multiple things throughout the show, right? And then
exactly.
JJ, I got you in there, mate.
My pick is a game that I was going to talk about in the games that I have been playing. And that is a game called Children of the Sun. Again, we played this at WASD. And let's roll some VT footage. So Children of the Sun is a game where you play a sniper, a sharpshooter, and you move around the level, and your aim is to take out everybody in the map. But the thing that you get to do is you get to take control of the bullet once you've fired it. So we'll see in a moment, once the sniper takes the shot, you get to mark your people like this is doing, or it's now buffering, which is great fun. And you'll see on certain people there, they've got their hands glowing or they've got their head glowing. And if you hit those marks on the person, it actually gives you extra points. It means the person goes down, possibly. I have no idea what's up with my internet tonight. Clearly, everyone is on the bandwidth. But as soon as you've taken one person out, it stops and it pauses for a minute. It allows you to readjust to where you're going to shoot next. And then you move to the next target and the next target and the next target. And as you go through the levels, some of the objects start becoming harder to hit. So you can see this guy there, even though it's freeze framed, he's drifting around in an area, in a car park. Yeah, reverse super hot. It's very, very similar to that in that you get different power-ups as well as you go through. So as you start getting in, some people start having force fields around them, and the only way to break that force field is to hit them with a bullet, but they deflect the bullet off. So once it's deflected, you then have to try and take control of it again, take somebody else out to then go back to hit the person that you couldn't hit because they had a force field around them. But of course, they've only got that force field down for a very short time.
Did you tend to play that in docked mode with a mouse? Because when we played at WSD, it was quite good to play with like a mouse and
it was.
Keyboard.
I'm playing it purely. I'm playing it purely in handheld mode, and it works absolutely fine because you've got time on your side. You can sort of take your time to really line up those shots. So it's I don't find that I'm having a hindrance doing it in handheld mode. It does work really well with a mouse and a keyboard, as you said, Tim. We played it at WASD, and it was great in that mode. But I guess the good thing about the Steam Deck, and I'm sure some people will tell me I'm wrong, is the trackpads. Let's see if I can get it into there. The little trackpads here do kind of act as a mouse. So if you really do want to get some of that precision when you're sort of holding your deck and playing it, you can use that trackpad and instead of doing what you want to do.
Speaking of which, like coming back to Heroes 3, if I've got the option, I'll play it docked with a monitor and a mouse and keyboard, and actually play it with a mouse because it's quite good for point and click. But if I want to sort of play it set up in bed, it works fine on the trackpad as well.
Yep.
So that trackpad, although it doesn't look like much, but it's pretty good. It works well as a mouse. Yeah,
it is very accurate. Blunus has a little cheeky smile going on there.
Yeah. So basically, when I get onto mine, I'll say all about what I wanted to say about it. Really.
Okay.
If we're ready to jump onto mine, yeah.
Are you ready for yours? Yeah.
That's my pick. Children of the Sun.
So people that are entering as well, don't forget get the word Steam Hams in if you want to enter this. These codes are global, so it doesn't matter where you are. We made sure that they were global Steam codes. So my pick. So you can go for Ollie's, you can go for Triangle Faces, or you can get 5 games with mine. Mine is the Broken Sword collection 1 to 5. So you can get, well, I'll just give you the trailer for number 5. The trailer is from our mates at Revolution Games. So like we were just saying, these trackpads, they are perfect to play in handheld mode. So you can use it. You can also normally play on touchscreen as well. But yeah, I was finding that the trackpads made it so much better because you can go along, double click, just like you were using a mouse. This is obviously the trailer for Broken Sword 5. I haven't actually played this one yet, but obviously everyone who's already got an Evercade who joins us, you've just had to pay £25 for 2. With us, you'll be able to get all 5 of the collections. So get your name in the chat. So yeah, I found you can use it with the analog sticks as well. You can go around with the analog sticks. I mainly just used the touchscreen because I completed the first one on the Steam Deck before it came out on Evercade, and I found that I could just it was so much easier to play, just touch screen where you wanted to play. But you did use the trackpads for a bit. I did use the analog for a bit, but I just found you go on that journey with Stobart and yeah, you're just saying what?
So I was just saying, pointing at the thing you've got Hobby Lodge say about point and click adventures with a controller. Yuck! But it's got a trackpad. You can get a dock. You can play it with a mouse, so you don't have to play it with a controller in that sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
or touchscreen. So yeah, I played touchscreen. You played touchscreen.
Touchscreen
screen where you wanted, which was brilliant. I found it's so funny. It's a lot of it's obviously you're playing as an American, but it's been written by British people, so it's quite funny. And there's even the French and stuff in there as well. So funny than the first one. So yeah, my pick is the Broken Sword collection 1 to 5, all in one.
Three great picks there, I think. Do you actually know? I don't know if anyone in the chat knows this. It's not necessarily the characters because they have different names, but they're drawn the same. But the animation in the movie Titan AE is the same character designs as in the Broken Sword games.
Ooh.
Does anybody actually know why that is? Is that just I've never really known what the point of that was?
I have not the foggiest, but it would be interesting to look at.
I'm just going to look at Titan AE
and just Google that, Tim,
just to make sure I'm not going mad. It is that character design.
You Google that.
If I just
Just
want
while,
to, yeah,
just
if I'm
while
just going to
you,
Google Titan AE
yeah,
broken sword and see if it says anything about it while you
while
talk
you
amongst yourselves.
while you Google that, Shems has come in there with some good recommendations. Inscription and Dredge. I have Dredge on PS5. Haven't played it yet. It was a really good deal, so I am really looking forward to Dredge. I do get the feeling it's probably going to be something that I would probably quite enjoy on Steam Deck as well, so may very well pick that up. And then Gene Joke coming in there with a free Steam key for somebody. If anybody wants another
Fast
free
fingers.
game, just
wow.
giving it out there, kicking it out there. There you go. Steam code there from Gene Joke for anyone that's there. Thank you very much, Gene. That's very, very kind of you. And yes, Hobby Lodge coming in there. Dredge was in this month's Humble Bundle collection. Correct, it was.
Yes. Another one to keep an eye out for, Humble Bundle. We should probably have a Humble Bundle section as well to talk about.
We
what's on there.
should.
Some
It's just
good
a
things that come
wondrous
out.
thing of a Steam Deck. There's just so much to talk about at all times. So, there's a few more entries coming in at the moment for Steamed Hams that will get you to enter to win one of the 3 games that we have selected there, which is Heroes of Might and Magic 3, Children of the Sun, or the Broken Sword Collection 1 to 5. We will be doing that giveaway a little bit later on. So yeah, get your Steamed Hams in there. We'll give you a couple of minute warning before we will close the entries, and then we will spin the wheel of doom and yeah, give out some free games. So let's go with what our first impressions of the Steam Deck were like, because we all entered at slightly different times. I think in order, Blunners was the first adopter,
Yeah.
Tim was the second adopter, and then I was an adopter as of beginning of this year. So Blunners, let's start with you, because you really were there at the inception of Steam Deck. So your first impressions of the Steam Deck when it arrived.
Yeah, so I was day one, so I had to wait a long time. I saw the Steam Deck when it's first released, and the main reason I actually bought the Steam Deck was only because I wanted to do emulation. I think at the time, I mean, we had all these other ones, but they couldn't play the sort of games that Steam Deck can. Like the Steam Deck can play pretty much up to anything. And the main reason I actually bought the Steam Deck was for the emulation purposes. And then yeah, so I remember like thinking, oh great, I'm not going to be in the first wave. I wasn't going to get it. And then all of a sudden, I think it was like a week before the release date, I just got an email saying, oh, your Steam Deck's being processed. It'll be here. I was like, that's amazing. It's going to be here on release day. So I wasn't even expecting it to turn up. And yeah, so when we say first impressions, when it first came out and you see the size of the thing, I was like, oh my God, this thing is ridiculous. Like, I didn't think it would be comfortable. I looked at it, obviously I'd watched videos and stuff, but I didn't really know what to expect. And yeah, I absolutely loved it. I feel it feels right. It's not too heavy. The trackpads works perfectly. The analog sticks for me piss all over the Switch. Like, do you know what I mean? When you've got analogs that constantly breaking, this is how they should have been made, especially in like on all of their stuff. It's ridiculous. Like you having stick drifts and stuff. These kind of analog sticks are brilliant. The triggers feel great. The touch works perfect. It was such a great bit of kit. Like you said, I won't go too much into emulation, but I delved into emulation. Like you said, didn't really, as in I've done emulation on PC, but not really done it on because it uses completely different software. So it uses Linux. So like all my stuff is all in Windows. So I couldn't get anything to work. I was like, what the hell is going on here? I had to do all kinds of like YouTube rabbit holes just to try and work out how can I drop it from here to get it to turn up on my Steam Deck. It was a right pain in the backside because I had no way of, see, my PC wasn't Linux. So I didn't know how to do it. So it took me ages to work that out. When I first done it, it would show up in the interface, which is great. Then for some reason, a couple of updates later, it's all gone. You can't see any of it. But one of the main things for me, I remember when I first used, so I bought myself a dock because that's what I wanted to do. My originally plan was, right, I'll get a Steam Deck, play it handheld, play it like a Switch, dock it behind the TV, just play it on the big screen whenever I want. But it didn't really work out that way. I don't know, because I felt like the actual docks that you got were completely different, like didn't really work as well as I hoped. So like the actual transitioning from like a dock to is not as seamless as it was. So you'd put it into desktop mode. You forget that it's basically a portable PC. So like when I would dock it, I would then think, oh shit, I've got no mouse link to this. I've got no keyboard link to this. So I was then having to get like dig out my keyboards and mouse and trying to link it all in that way to use it desktop mode. I'd also streamed a couple of our live shows off a Steam Deck here before, which works but didn't work, but done all right. And I think this is just a little tiny handheld, and it worked really well. So my first impressions, I was brilliant, but I didn't really have like a massive Steam library either. Didn't really know what I was getting into. Just thought, but as you go over the years and these sales are just peanuts, before you know it, you build yourself a Steam library really quick without even knowing, don't you?
You do.
Yeah, that was my first impressions of it.
Yep. Martin there with the Hobby Lodge agreeing with you as well. Yep, it's between all the various sales and everything that goes on with it. Yeah, just like you said, Blunders. Yeah, it can build up really quick. So yeah, Blunders was the first adopter, the early adopter, the one that made everybody at TVG very jealous, because all of a sudden, myself and Tim found ourselves wandering our way to WASD last year, and I think we both kind of agreed at the showcase. I think we need a Steam Deck. It's
absolutely
the FOMO from Blunders has gotten real. Now we can actually play some of these games and see how they run. And and then Tim was the next adopter. So what were your first impressions of the Steam Deck?
The first time I actually got to actually hold a Steam Deck and have a go on one was at WASD. And there's also the thing where we went around playing all these games, and there's loads of them were on the Steam Deck to try. And then a bunch of them were, everyone just had like a QR code of their big banners saying, add to your wish list. And that was everywhere. And I was like, I'm really liking this sort of indie gaming scene, and I want to be more involved in it. And it's like, I think the best way to keep up to date with indie games and support indie games is Steam. And the best way to play them, I think, is to get a Steam Deck and jump on it. I didn't get involved initially for the same sort of reasons that Blum was saying about having a Steam library. It's like, I don't have a Steam library. I've got all these other things. Is it too late for me to jump on at this point? Because I've not got, if I was already a Steam user and I had a huge library, then it's a no-brainer, I think. But I was like, I don't know if it's worth jumping on now. If you're thinking that, take the plunge. As we said, with all the bundles, flash sales, there's free games. You can play Game Pass or stuff on it. You can use it as an emulator. You will have a huge library of games in a very short amount of time for very little spend. So considering how expensive the console is, the games are so cheap. If you can get some big AAA games, but if you just want to play like indie titles and things like that and older games, the bundles are crazy prices as well. Like some of the deals you can just get so many games. Like some of the humble bundle ones, like a few £100 worth of games for like £12. It's like, okay, I'll buy that. I've actually got another trailer that I've got up here. This is one of the games on my wish list. I played this at WASD, and I was really surprised when I was like, oh, how long have you been working on this game? They're like, oh, about a year so far. I was like, how many of you are there in the team? They're like, oh, there's 5 of us. So I was like, there 5 people in a year have made this, and it's crazy good. But this was Lunar Abyss. It's not got a release date yet, but I've got it on my wish list on Steam. I played this on the Steam Deck. Man. Yeah. And I was like, this is nuts.
Wow.
This was probably the first game I played on the Steam Deck at WASD. And I was like, yeah, this is good. Like playing first person on it as well, and like looking at the trackpad and everything else, and playing it. I was like, this is the game that convinced me to buy a Steam Deck, and it's not even out yet. So I just played like a beta demo of it. Indie gaming show, but that's why I just wanted to put it up there just to see. You can see like how cool does that look for an indie title
Yeah.
with a small team.
It was a
They need
to get 'em
superb
on.
demo.
Try and get him onto, don't we?
Oh, we would love to. We
Yes,
have reached out to
yeah,
them, so
I did reach out
hopefully.
to them. I might give them another nudge and say, hey, have you thought about coming on? They're obviously very busy working on this game. So
Yes.
perhaps when it's closer to release and they want to get some more people, build up some more hype for it, they may want to come on. But yeah, this was such a fun game, really cool art style. And I just felt like I had to share that while talking about my Steam Deck origins, because this was part of that. There we go. And over to yourself, Tommy, about when you first picked up the Steam Deck.
So I'm riding pretty hard on the FOMO from Blunners and from Tim, seeing the emulation run the way it ran on Blunners' Steam Deck, and Tim also advocating that it also had a very, very good emulation element to it. That for me was the point at which I thought I've got to find a way to be able to do this. I've just got to. So beginning of the year, I was in an opportunity where I could sell some annual leave at work. So I'm able to sell enough to put some money towards the Steam Deck, and that's what I did. Took the plunge at the beginning of the year. I went for the OLED model, and I got a micro SD to go with it, just to push the memory up a little bit more. And then what I've got is on the on the computer's hard drive is where I store my Steam library, and then all my emulation I store directly onto the SD card, so that it's completely separate in terms of storage. But I don't have a PC, so I'm a Mac user. So getting hold of emulators or using my own emulators for things is difficult to get that to talk to the Steam Deck. So as we've said before, the Steam Deck is a handheld PC. There's no other way to describe it. It's a handheld PC that runs like a PC and behaves like a PC. And it also has a desktop mode, which is basically just a PC desktop. Or you can use that as a touchscreen. You can use that in dock mode. You can use it on the using the trackpads. Like it's fantastic. And from that, I was able to use emulators and get hold of my emulators that way. Find them there, download them, upload them, and convert them into the various files that they needed to go on. And I was using EmuDeck, which is my emulator of choice. And that was my predominant reason for it. Much like a few people in the chat, certainly Toxo as well. It's, digital gaming is not something I'm a big advocate for. However, it is a superb way to play games on the Steam Deck. As Tim says, the way to support indie is to buy indie, and a lot of indie titles, yes, they do eventually come to console, but to be able to play some of these games straight away for a good price, just get them on Steam, and having the Steam Deck for someone who is a predominantly console user was just a no-brainer for me. And I very quickly built up a Steam library. Again, as everyone has said, the sales are incredible. Put something in your wish list, and then normally within a month or two, you get a message saying, did you know this game's in a sale? And the sale price can just be ridiculous. So like I just showed earlier on, Project Warlock, a game that I've been wanting to play on my PlayStation for a little while. I've had it there. It's in the pile of Get To games. It's in the Steam library sale today for £1. £1 for a very highly regarded game. I think on one of the ModCons episodes a few months back, I talked that I picked up Limbo because I love that game. It's such a good platformer.
Limbo.
That was 90p in a sale the other day. And it was just this case of, well, I love Limbo. I've done everything that can be done on Limbo, but I don't have it on my Steam Deck. And for 90p, I'm afraid that just is going to have to happen. So, yeah. I bought it predominantly for emulation, but I have found myself gravitating more and more to Steam itself. So I do have a good selection of emulation games on there. But yeah, being able to actually play them, just some of the Steam titles, it's just phenomenal. It really is.
Like I could have easily done an emulation of Final Fantasy. I've had the itch to play Final Fantasy 7 again for like the upteenth time for some reason. I just felt like playing on the Steam Deck. I was like, wonder how much it just is on Steam. I can't remember what it was, but it wasn't that much. I was like, nah, I'm just going to buy it again. And I just added that to my Steam library and played through it again. Because I was like, why not? I'll just buy it on Steam.
Yep. Yeah, the entire Oddworld series for £1.
£1 for all of Oddworld. That's crazy.
It's so good. And the thing I like about it the most is actually how user-friendly it is. So as I've said, coming as a console gamer, I don't really enjoy PC gaming predominantly because of all the faff that goes along with it. I like being able to put a disc in, sit on my couch and just play a game. The Steam Deck, whilst the emulation side may have a bit of a learning curve to it, it's not difficult at all. It just takes a bit of time, a little bit of patience, and it is an extremely accessible way to play any game from Game Boy to flipping Cyberpunk 2077.
I think there's lots of useful guides out there and people giving instructions on how to set up emulators and that sort of thing. So it is there's lots of support out there for people to do stuff with it.
Absolutely. So with that in mind, let's go to what game would you recommend this month? So what we will do with the show is it's planned in to be a once a month show. If people want it to be more frequent, then we will look for a way to do that, and then it would be game of the week recommendation. But for the moment, we're going to do this as a one a month show. So this month, Blunners, what game would you recommend?
Yeah, so I'm just loading up the advert for it. Well, it's loading up now, but there's a game that Ryan was always coming up some great. It was all Ryan. He was coming up with some great titles that he was playing on his Steam Deck, and I'm just going to present this. This one was phenomenal. I love it, and it is Broforce. So Broforce is my game of the month. Yeah. Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. It's like 8 bits. I don't know what bit it is, but it's phenomenal. Absolutely love it. It's one of my favorites. All the different characters you can be. I don't know why. Is it not showing? Is it not showing on the screen?
There we go. We got it now. We've got it now.
I'm gonna have to remove it and add it again.
There we go. He's in. We might have a delay with Blunners.
Did I crash out then? Just crashed out.
Did, mate. We had a slight delay with you there.
Have we lost Blunners?
Oh, okay. But yeah,
it's just a major delay.
I've been playing it for ages, and it was Ryan that put me onto it.
You recommended that stuff. I haven't tried it yet. I might have to give it a go because you recommended it before, so I think I might have to give it a look.
So, Tim, what
We've
game?
Got a few people in the chat as well. Broforce is amazing. Broforce is great. So you're not alone there. Yeah, like a Broforce. Right, my recommendation, and I'm going to do a trailer for this as well because why not? This is one of the first games I got from a humble bundle after getting the Steam Deck, and it's a very nice little puzzle game. And it's very chill, and it's called Carto. And it's a game where you're exploring a map, and you find little bits of paper. As you can see, you can go into the map view and move the bits of paper because the map's modular, and you can move the little squares around, and you can rotate them. And when you then go back into the game, the map's actually moved about. So you get some simple puzzles like, oh, you need to cross over a bridge, and you can just literally rotate the map you're on and put it at the other side of the bridge and go in. But you have to meet other people in the town and talk to them, and they'll give you descriptions of where to find things. So you have to replicate the description that they've given you. So one is you need to find a particular plant, and someone says, oh, it grows at the end of the river. And another person says, oh, it grows after this bush. And you have to rotate all the bits of map around. So all of those conditions are met, and then that plant just appears in the middle. So you've got to try and find different puzzles to get through. But yeah, Carto, the cartographer, fun little Steam game. It's good.
I do like me some puzzle games. That looks
it's
fantastic.
very paper traily. If you like Paper Trail, it's very similar vibe, this game. It's really charming. It's got nice characters. It's very relaxing and peaceful game. It just makes you think a bit. You've got to think through some of the puzzles. So it's not too hard, not too easy. There's no enemies or action or drama in it. It's just, how do I turn this map around so I can get into this house? So nice change of pace from what I often play. So it's good.
Yeah. Excellent. Before I dive into my recommendation, I'm going to give people a 5-minute warning if you want to be entered into the prize draw to win one of 3 Steam codes for the games, either Heroes of Might and Magic 3, Children of the Sun, or Broken Sword Collection 1 to 5. If you would like to be entered into that competition, get the word steamed hams into the chat and we will get you onto the Wheel of Doom, and we'll be doing that in about 5-10 minutes. So there we go. There is your warning. My pick is a game called The Beast Inside. Now, I went looking for first-person horror titles, and this came up as a recommendation, and I will play a trailer now. This appears to be the trailer for the console version, so I'm assuming it's coming to console too. But you are essentially a family man. You are moving into a new property with your partner, and the property houses all kinds of dark secrets about it. It's a very much walk through, interact with as much as you can type deal to uncover the mysteries of things that are buried within the house, literally at times buried within the house. It's not super scary, but it is very atmospheric. So I likened this maybe atmosphere wise to something like Martha is Dead. Nowhere near as intense and nowhere near as genuinely terrifying as that game, but you can see here from the graphics, it's an incredibly very well made game. It looks superb, and it does pretty much play like this. I think some of this is a couple of cutscenes here, but ultimately it plays extremely well on the Steam Deck. It doesn't slow. Everything is very precise. It's a mixture of survival horror and puzzle, which just ticks a lot of boxes for me. I love puzzle games, but I especially love survival horror. And I had a great time with it. It's not the longest game in the world. It's, it's probably going to clock you in at, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 hours if you really wanted to just push through with it. Very enjoyable. I think I got it for a £5. It's a game that I will play again. And it was a perfect little horror game for a Steam Deck. I was dead happy with that. So my recommendation is The Beast Inside.
Looks good.
Ooh.
So how are we with the whirly wheel of doom? Have we got names entered onto said wheel?
Yep, I can bring it up. So the Wheel of Doom.
More importantly, do we have the Wheel of Doom jingle to play?
Nope, because it's in. As I said, it's on my old PC. So if you've got to add it, I have to come out
on here. Video clips. Perhaps we should do that another time.
So I tried. It's on my old PC. It's not on this one.
So
I think it might be on.
Oh yeah, I can do it. Well, I could just have to change that. I just have to go into.
Yeah.
We will just momentarily.
Yeah, it is. Should to go
change the show.
Here we go.
And change it to.
So momentarily, we will be switching to a different show. All the aesthetics will change.
What was the Wheel of Doom one? Was it TEP or was it Uncensored or Modcons? We did it on TEP, didn't we? I've just removed us all by changing it. Where is it? Wheel of Doom. Here we go.
We are live, of course.
Prepare yourselves for the Wheel of Doom.
There you go. I'm going to blame the Wheel of Doom for kicking us out, and then we'll return back to Steam Deck podcast.
For the Wheel of Doom.
All right, are we ready to press?
There we go. Great stuff.
Oh, we are. So is Shem's name's on Shem's name? Your name is on there. So there we are. We had to do all that just for the Dave Newland music for the Wheel of Doom.
Do you want to stay on there? So you don't have a Steam account. Do you want to stay on there?
Yeah, of course.
If you win, you have to get a Steam account.
There we go.
Yeah, you'll have
There
to
we
get a Steam account then, mate.
Yeah.
So let's go. What we're going to do is the first person that gets pulled, you will get to pick which game you would like first. They are
It was
all
the-
fantastic. Exactly. Nothing
It's
but
very-
professionalism
Seems
here.
very ever KD.
Because I was still talking, I
Doesn't
wasn't
it?
even in the
Just
room
crack.
to keep me out. It's like, so what we'll do here is we'll do. Oh, I'm not
It
even on
kicked
the
us all
stage.
out.
Yeah.
Brutal. Brutal. Anyway,
Ready?
let's do this. First one. Here we go.
Oh, no pizza,
There's
Andy.
no pizza, Andy.
No pizza, Andy. I've definitely seen you in the chat this
So you
evening,
gotta
my
let-
friend.
No.
He's got to let us know what
In
he
the
wants.
chat,
Which game? Yeah, what game are you going to go for? No pizza, Andy. You need to let
are
us know.
you there at the moment, Andy? If you are, let us know. We can do this live, and we can make a note of what's what, and then yeah, fix.
Or we can do the next few spins, but no pizza, Andy needs to pick his game first, and then the next winner can pick their game.
That works for me. So no pizza, Andy is
Right, ready?
number 1.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Yeah.
Oh, he's having heroes.
Right choice. That's the right choice. No pizza, Andy. Best game to option.
It's 1-0 triangle face, that, isn't it?
Oh,
Vernon
Couchman. Phenomenal.
Excellent.
Long-time supporter of the channel. Very, very pleased that's gone to someone like yourself, Vernon. So excellent stuff. Vernon, you get to pick between the Broken Sword collection or Children of the Sun. So which tickles your fancy?
Oh, I reckon Vernon's going to go Broken Sword myself, knowing his previous taste
What,
of
all
things. he
5
likes.
Broken Sword games.
All 5 Broken Sword games, I reckon. But let's see if I'm right. You're,
There you
of
go.
course, welcome to whichever one you want, Vernon. Yeah, Broken Sword. That's
Yeah,
right.
he's got Broken Sword.
Oh,
It's
Shems, you
Tiger
just
Gem.
missed.
Oh, just missed
Cute
it. It's
Tiger
cute Tiger Gem. And
Congratulations.
you're getting Children of the Sun, whether you like it or not.
By default, you get my pick.
It is good though. I played it. It is a fun
Don't
game.
forget, we've
We'll
got the
have fun with
bonus
that one.
prize.
And the
It is
bonus
amazing.
prize.
Oh yes, bonus prize. So we'll take Cute Tiger out, and then we will give the final
just,
prize away just before we finish.
They're gonna have to email. Our,
Yes, we need to make sure people actually get their codes. Yeah,
yes.
should we say
So-
email us? Would be the best thing, do you
Yes.
reckon?
I
We
think
probably
that
should
would
have
be
discussed this before going live. How we're going to do
nothing
it.
wrong
It's a
with
very
doing
slick
it live,
operation.
mate. That's the best thing about this is we do everything at a last minute. Oh, is this for the
What's
last
the email
one?
account?
It's for the bonus
Retro
games.
game. Yeah, this is for the magic one. So Yomo, you've got it.
The random
this?
game, Yomo 1965.
Yomo, we have no idea what this game is like. It's purely an error on our part, and
Isn't
we
it?
have
Isn't
a
it
code.
Children of something? So you were looking for Children of the Sun, and actually got Children of something else.
I'm
Is
sure
that
it's
right?
children.
And it
I think
is
it's Children
Children-
of Egypt or something.
Yeah, Children
Yeah,
of the
so-
Nile.
No idea.
Nile,
But
That's it.
you know,
Children
that
of the
mistake
Nile.
has led to an additional prize for people, so it's all good.
Well, there you go. You've won this.
Ooh.
It might be the worst video game that has ever been created, but you will be the one to tell us on the next episode.
Children of the Nile.
Right, should we
Children of
change
the
back
Nile.
to our banner now?
But he can,
Oh, we are back.
as I said, yeah, tell us the next episode. But yeah, you need
Media. Here we go. Let me
no,
change this
you're on
back.
the old one.
Do not boot us out, Tim. Don't
I
boot
don't
us
know
out.
if it might not be me that does it. Let's try
So
and
is
go.
Retro Game Revival at
Yes.
gmail.com, is it?
No, it's our new email address is totalvideogamerslive@gmail.com.
So,
There we
yeah,
go.
please
Put it in the
email
chat.
us
I'll
and
put it
we
in the
can
chat.
send you your codes.
We're getting it in the chat for you there.
Be ready, Vernon. You've got 5 codes coming your way, mate.
Well, they 5
But-
separate codes are they?
So
They are.
that leaves us to the last bit, doesn't it? Which I've done a little video for.
It
Tim.
certainly does. So
Right, Tim,
let's
ready to?
Yeah, I'm still.
Good evening, everyone. Send in the clowns. It's time for Steam Me Up Timmy.
Game is live. Right, Steam Me Up Timmy. That's an interesting title.
That's you.
It is. Right, let's just go. Let's go and present.
Let's see if it
one
sticks.
more time. There's lots of presenters.
See if it sticks. Do people
Thanks.
like Steam Me Up Timmy? If they do, stick that. And yes, unleash the clowns. It will forever be
unleash the clowns. Yes.
So Tim, this is where you're going to be talking about some of the free games on Steam.
Free games.
Get them
There's a
now.
mixed bag of these. I do post free games in the Total Video Gamers Facebook group that are sort of just ones I keep an eye out for. And I have been trying to play on some of them. So this one was actually one where the game devs reached out to us on our email to say, hey, here's a game that I'm working on. This is currently the free demo. So the full game isn't out yet, but when the full game comes out, it will be a paid-for game. But now's a chance to play it at the demo phase. It is a nature puzzler. So it's tiled. It's quite a nice art style to it. And it's like you get these different tiles. The different tiles react in different ways. You can kind of put a dry mud tile in water, and then it kind of changes color. You can then plant fruit and stuff to grow trees. You can then get ones of a different style of mud, and then you get a hole and you put something in it, and then you put something on top, and then you actually grow another type of plant. And it looks like, just from this trailer, there's perhaps some other natural disasters you have to navigate, and it's like a physics nature game. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, go and check out Plentiful.
Physics
was
nature
there.
game.
Yeah, physics nature game. So looks like it could be quite fun. This one I didn't actually get a chance to play yet, but this just looks like it's got a good sense of humor. It is 18 plus, so you do need to be 18 to play this one. But and it looks like you play as Santa. It's called Slime is Back 18 plus. It's a 3D platformer shooter. With I think like a sense of humor because it's an 18 plus. So I think it's kind of giving me Conker's Bad Fur Day vibes. This one,
yep.
But that is a full
cool.
free game, so you can just jump on and play it. He's got a fish on his back there. Don't know what that's about. Slime is back.
Look at that, Santa with a double-barreled shotgun and a fish on his back.
Exactly.
What more do you need?
Exactly. What else could you want? This one was surprising. I've downloaded this onto my Steam Deck. So this, I think, was a previous full paid game, and it's now become free. So it's a Game of Thrones RPG, King's Road. And it looks like it has scenes lifted straight from the show. So if you're a Game of Thrones fan and you want to play a free... I mean, this looks like a proper big title, to be honest. I mean, look at that.
It certainly does.
That is completely free. Just came out and is like, yeah, it's free now. Don't know why it became free. I think it maybe didn't get great critic scores or wasn't well received, but it is now a free one. So if you get David Newland, here we go. It's free to play now. So it's available to play. Then some of these ones I have had a go on. This was an interesting one. I've seen games like this on mobile. You get a piece of fruit and you've got to match the fruit, and then it turns into a different type of fruit. It's like a columns or Tetris-y style game. Was that the trailer? That was it. That's a 24-second trailer. That's all you need to see. But yeah, I had a little go on it. It's a bit of fun. It's not. I was trying to think of it's not Street Fighter or Final Fantasy. It's not FIFA, but it's all right if you've got some time to kill and you fancy dropping some fruit. And it's got a nice pixel art style. So if you want to drop pixel fruit on itself, this is the game for you. And last but not least, this was a really fun one. This is you can play Act 1 for free. So again, it is just another demo. But you know what? If you're new to Steam Deck and you want to play some games, there are some good free demos out here. And this will kill a few minutes. It's not an overly long one, but it was good fun. It's a 3D platformer. You play as Death, and you're kind of like in the underworld. It's got some good voice acting in it, I will say. And a nice little art style, and you're sort of jumping around using your scythe, and you've got a grappling hook where you can do like jump and swing across things. Yeah, this one's really good actually. I really liked this one. Act 1's currently available for free, and then I think the other ones are coming out. We can get the rest of the game, but yeah, it's a fun little 3D platformer with a nice art style and some good voice acting.
Excellent.
I think
stuff.
I just said that on repeat a few times, but yeah, you get the idea.
Yeah, you can't emphasize something that is like that sometimes. So saying it a few times,
yes,
I'm sure someone said that in order to have something solidify in your memory, you say it 3 times, which is why when somebody introduces themselves to me, I try my best to say their name 3 times very quickly, because Otherwise, my brain just forgets everything, and I call you dude or man for the rest of your life.
Dude, oh wow.
Yeah. Excellent. So
Nice.
this will be a feature that we will keep going. It was running on ModCons, I think, before, but I think we will bring it to the Total Steam Deck podcast now. It feels like it sits better here, I think. Excellente. So let's run to questions to round the first episode off. So like all the other shows, if you have questions you want us to ask, things you want us to talk about, please get them into the chat. We will get them starred and we come to them at the end of the show like we're going to do now. And we do our best to answer them, or sometimes we'll have somebody else on the panel as a guest and we'll palm it off onto them because sometimes we don't know. So let's go to first question is from an old friend who we've not seen for a while, the Hobby Lodge. It's great to see you in the chat this evening, my friend. I hope you're keeping well. Being an owner, are there any absolutely essential physical add-ons like docks and cases? I would say the essential one is the one that comes with it for me, and that is just the standard hard carry case.
Oh yes,
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
is-
You can't beat that.
No,
Comes with it.
it's made incredibly well. The inside is great. Got your little logo on the top there. So for me, this is the only real essential one, and it comes with the deck, which is the best thing that Steam and Valve ever did. Because I think adding in that extra cost of a case sometimes can be a real pain in the ass. So for me, that's the essential one. So it should already come with it. But if you guys have got any other essential add-ons,
I would say getting yourself a dock. You can get some fairly priced unofficial docks as well. This one, you just got the USB-C at the top, which goes into the Steam Deck. It sits nicely in the little tray. And on the back, you've got an HDMI port and then 3 USB 3s on there as well. So that's, for your plugging in your mouse, your keyboard, your control pad, whatever it is, you're plugging in. I definitely recommend getting a docking station with it. So you can kind of get a bit more out of it again.
Yeah, 100%. Like I was like say the same. Get yourself a dock. If not, get yourself a wireless or a Bluetooth keyboard, like I did, so you don't actually have to have take up any inputs with it. If you do want to start like going into dock mode, and then because that's what you're going to need to do if you want to go down the emulation route, you need to go into the dock mode to get all that up and going. So the case that comes with it is phenomenal. That was one thing I thought was really great. I thought, wow, this is really well made, nice strong case that comes with it. Don't really know anyone else that does that. Right.
One thing you do need to make sure you have is some of these little cleaning wipes. You've got to have your cleaning wipes to hand.
Microfiber.
Microfibers,
yes.
Good old microfiber. So next question is from Shems. I think this is to do with Evercade, but we will answer it because, we're like you, Shems. We're all good. How do you upgrade a micro USB cable? The VS still can't update. I don't disagree with you. It should have come with USB-C.
Should be wireless, isn't it? In the wireless.
Agreed. The update for your VS should be done over Tinternet. So have a double check.
What's that got?
If you're having problems with it, just reset it. Go into your options. Because I had to do that when I got mine out of the box. Wouldn't even connect to the Wi-Fi. I thought, here we go again. This will be another thing I've got to send back. And now you just factory reset, and it worked.
And also, I think the quality of USB cables does vary from cable to cable. So it would be worth just getting a different cable and trying that if you've got multiple. I tend to find the USB cables you get with a mobile phone charger tend to be the better ones than if you've just bought some spares offline, because they just seem to be a bit better quality. So just try an alternative cable if you can.
Excellent. I'm going to come back to Vernon's question just purely because we could probably load up the Steam website and show you the various options. That might be the better way to get to your question. So we'll come to yours in a moment, Virgin. Whoa. William, I'm new here. Excellent. Thank you very much for stopping by. This is our very first episode of the Steam Deck podcast. So I hope you've enjoyed yourself. And there's plenty of other podcasts that we do. There's a plethora of other stuff to check out. So please do stick around, my friend. It's great to have you here. Got a Steam Deck OLED and a dock on May 1st. You'd love it. Question though, what is the best way to play Game Pass on Steam Deck as you don't have an Xbox? So this will be where I'll pass over to Tim.
Yes, because I have set that up. So it is only cloud based, so you can stream the games on Game Pass. And I would recommend just going onto YouTube and searching a video on how to set up Game Pass on your Steam Deck. You can go to like a browser and just go to the web page and log into your account and then access the games. So effectively, that's what you're doing. But there are ways of bookmarking that web page, and then you can set it so that bookmark comes up in your games library as a favorite. And if you go for a few steps, you can then also get the artwork you want to show up on each screen. So it actually shows the Game Pass logo, if you like, things like that. And then once you've done it, it's a few steps, does take too long, but then once you've got it on there, it just seamlessly looks like you're going from your Steam games into Game Pass as one of the options on your dashboard view. So yeah, I would recommend spending a little bit of time setting up onto your dashboard just so it's a seamless jump from your Steam library to your Xbox library.
Super duper. Next question from Gene Joke. There is news, correct? There is the cart coming out with the Neo Geo is the Bubsy collection.
Wow, I didn't know that.
There you go.
Scoop.
You're gonna have to come and you're gonna have to come and join us Thursday then for a live reaction.
I've now just got that music from Bubsy the Bobcat in my head, and it's probably not going to go away for a few days.
Just listen to just listen to The Clowns by Dave Newland. That will get rid of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he might be trolling, so we don't know. It's not a scoop after all. It's not news. Fake news. It's not Bubsy. Or is
Next question. It could be. From Com. Has anyone got a game on the Steam Deck that they also have on an Evercade card? Yes, Mr. Blunners has done that, I believe. So yeah, Blunners, hit us with the one that you've got.
Oh, I've got Broken Sword 1 and 2, and also got Live Awakening. So they are the ones I have on Steam Deck and on my Evercade.
Exactly. There's a few games that do that crossover. Half the time, so we'll still pick something up on Evercade, but yeah, sometimes just that deal's just too good to pass up on. On from Yomo 1965, tips and tricks for optimizing your games on SD.
On the Steam Deck, I don't really optimize. I just leave them as they are. To be honest,
the only thing that is on there, I think you can get some community builds. So I think there's a thing on there where you can. I've only done it a little bit for controller layouts, but when you go to your controller layouts, for example, there's like preset ones, and then you can also get community builds where people have actually done a preset build and saved it, and you can just copy what someone else has already done. So you can let other people do the hard work for you. So you can check out community builds for stuff. I haven't really looked too much into it. I know it works for controller layouts, but I think you can do it for other stuff as well. But again, I've not felt I've needed to. Things just run smoothly on the as it comes.
Excellent. Another one from Com. Hopefully, Tim's answered that. Is it easy to set up Game Pass?
I would say so. It's pretty easy. There are a few steps to take to get it to do the dashboard view, like I said, but there are videos online, and if I can do it, you can do it.
Again,
so if this step-by-step guide.
If things like this, along with setting up emulation on your Steam Deck, is something that people would like us to cover in the future, then there's no reason why we can't do some of these as live segments, and we can cover it live with people. So yeah, feel free to ask us to do that. Next one from Cute Tiger Gem. I think Alex has probably given you one of the best options.
I think Alex has answered that.
I was going to say that I'm part of Debug. I get it every. I get it as well. I get it delivered. Absolutely fantastic magazine. Like just the build, like just how it's made, the quality of it, the feel of it. Yeah, get yourself on Debug.
Yep. I think the other place that I will tend to find out about indie games is actually just talking to other gamers. I've found that so many games that I've found out about, sorry, have been from either watching, friends on YouTube, or certainly people for me like Radical Reggie. He's a great YouTuber, and he always has some incredibly interesting games that he's picking up or talking about. So yeah, talk to everybody. Come on over to the Total Video Gamers Facebook group. We're always looking to try and find new ways to grow that group a little bit. So yeah, come on over to there. We can start talking about indie games all you like, because some of them are absolute bangers. And I believe we have maybe one last question here. So much like the Xbox question, do you know if you can get GOG client to run or access those games?
I don't know on that one.
Yeah, it's good old games. I presume so. I haven't tried, but could probably look that up. That's their good old games client. Probably, I'd imagine so. Like, because you can dock it as well and go into desktop mode. You can pretty much do anything. It's quite a versatile device. So I'm gonna say probably yes, but I haven't checked. But we could probably look into that and check.
Yep. Excellent. So we said we would come back to Vernon Couchman's question, and in that time I probably should have loaded up the Steam website. So I'm going to do that ever so quickly now, because my internet is so reliable.
Part of that we said, is it are they all basically the same? I think a lot of them are dependent on the size of storage space you've got. So it depends how much storage you want. I think I went for a lower storage because, again, although it can run impressive games, most of what I download are like small indie games. They're not taking up a huge amount of space. And again, with the Steam library, once you've bought it and you own it, you can uninstall it, reinstall it again, because it's all cloud-based. So I haven't felt like I've needed to have the larger. There you go, got 256 gig or 500 or a terabyte. I personally don't feel I need a terabyte of space on there, and that's a bit of a bigger spend. So it depends on two things really: the screen. Can't see words. Screen.
That's another new word.
The screen quality. There we go. Got there in the end. And then the size. So maybe like, the mid-range one there. OLED and 512 gig is pretty good. But yeah, depends what you want, I suppose.
Yeah, so I did go for the 512 OLED model, predominantly because of the OLED screen, but also 512 is a pretty decent space size, and then getting a SSD for like another 250 gig or something, and the screen is maybe, what does it say there, 0.4 inch, that's a quarter of an inch, isn't it, basically bigger? Squeen. So yes, those are your options. I don't think you really get much difference between the models. I don't really think you would. I know that the LCD one has a slightly less battery power or battery life, and then Wi-Fi 6E for these ones, and Wi-Fi 5 for the original. 60 hertz refresh rate to 90 hertz refresh rate. I mean, ultimately on a screen that size, are you going to notice it tremendously? Probably not. So, if you want to save yourself over £100, the LCD model will absolutely do the job perfectly well. However, if you're looking to just have that little bit of extra bits and have it a little bit more future proof, the OLED model, certainly this one, I would say is the way to go if you were buying it today.
Yeah. So I bought mine obviously before the OLED was out, before the white version was out. I basically just got the bog standard one. And obviously chucked a memory card in it. Haven't needed to do anything. Haven't needed to upgrade. Haven't needed to delete stuff. Haven't needed to do, because for what I use it for, it all depends on how you're going to use it, how you feel you're going to play games. If you want AAA games and stuff, you need to go for the high one. If you just want to do it casually like us and just play X, Y, and Z, it just depends on how you want to. But get one basically. You need they're so good.
Yeah, and I know Shems has put on there 4 hours on Elden Ring with a question mark. I'd say that's probably about right. If you're playing a AAA title at full capacity with the refresh rate at the best it's going to go, with the screen super bright, then you're going to deplete that battery power. But that being said, AAA games look absolutely stunning on it. I'm currently playing through Doom 2017 just because I love that game, and it just runs like butter. It is silky smooth. It is delightful. And yeah, a Steam Deck isn't an impulse buy. It is something that you're probably going to look at and think, well, yeah, you're going to look and you're going to do some research and decide whether or not you're going to get your money's worth out of it. I absolutely get my money's worth out of it.
When we first talked about the decision to get a Steam Deck when we're at WASD, I think both of us had that pain thought of like, oh, I'm going to have to get a Steam Deck. And it's because we were just like, yeah, I'm just going to have to drop 500 quid. But yeah, I want one now. So there is a little bit of a wince when you buy one, but it is worth it. It's very good.
It is. I think if you game a lot, you will absolutely get your money's worth out of it. If you're a casual gamer even, then I would recommend a Steam Deck over anything else, because you can have such a fantastic casual experience with the Steam Deck. So yeah, it's something that I am glad I took the plunge on. I more than get my money's worth out of it. I love the device. I just can't wait to see how things evolve with it.
Yeah, that's a good point from Ginger. The low cost of the game does balance that out, because once you've got it, you can get so many cheap games on it. Your library builds really quick. And I would say it's the console I spend the most amount of time on. Like all the stuff we talk about, you know, I've got Evercade. I like my VR games, got a PS5, got Xbox, and like my Game Pass games. And the thing I actually play the most is the Steam Deck, because it is a handheld and I can just jump on it whenever I want. It's just got that convenience factor. And even though you're playing on a handheld, it's so big and the screen is so large, it doesn't feel like a handheld experience. It feels like you're just enjoying a console.
And then that last point there from HM4, thinking of buying a handheld to use as a desktop for college stuff, but not too familiar with Linux. I mean, I'm a Mac user, so, you know, Windows is about as alien as it gets to me. I have to use Windows for work, of course, but, you know, I think Linux works very, very similar to Windows from my experience as a non-PC user. I think if you were going to use it for college work, I think you'd be absolutely fine. Maybe get a standalone separate hard drive that you could, you know, detach from it. So if you did have any issues, then you know you're not going to lose any of your college work. But I think using one for college work and as a standalone little PC, yeah, it would work perfectly for you. Just get a separate hard drive that's external for it. As Martin says there, you get to join the PC Master Race too. There you go. So I've got one foot in.
If you think about that way, that just makes the price seem a bit better. If you think of it as an expensive handheld or a very cheap PC,
yes.
So as far as PC prices go, you know what? 500 quid for a gaming PC, absolute bargain.
It works, right?
Yes, can't quite make that comparison, but you know what? I will anyway.
Excellent. Well, thank you everyone for joining us along live for the first episode of the Total Steam Deck podcast. It's been wonderful to see some new names in the chat as well. So thank you everyone for coming over and joining us. You are all incredibly welcome here. If you are new here, please do consider hitting that subscribe button, because that does help us out quite a lot. And if you have enjoyed this episode, give the video a little cheeky thumbs up as well, because then that's going to let us know that you have enjoyed it. It pushes it up the algorithm for us as well. And it just shows us again that you enjoy the content and we can make more of it. Like we say, at the moment, Total Steam Deck is looking to be a monthly show. If people enjoy it a lot and the demand is there, then we would of course love to do it more frequently, and we will figure out a way to make that happen. But with all the stuff that we've talked about this evening, keep those conversations going in the comments section, because we do enjoy reading those as well. Just keep it friendly, accept that people aren't going to agree with you all the time, and everyone's going to be a winner. Head on over to the Total Video Gamers Facebook group as well. We do post a lot of stuff in there when we can. We're looking for ways to try and get that page to grow a little bit, try and get some more interaction going. So if you're new here, like I say, hit that subscribe button and head on over to the TVG Facebook group. And just thank you everyone for joining along live. It's been an absolute delight. And we will see you all potentially, if Evercade is your thing, on Thursday for the big reveal.
Well, 1:45.
Yeah.
We're kicking off.
Two down, one to go for our 3 streams in 1 week.
Yeah. And we should we should have a guest from America coming as well, hopefully.
Nice.
Ooh.
He needs to get back to me.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, again. And we will hopefully see you all Thursday. Failing that, we will see you all Monday next week. So good evening, everyone, and take care.